M.R.C.K. Ranganathan. Couple of announcements. As you're aware, that MMA organizes varied programs. We have the evening video discussion on Friday. We have the evening talk on 12 bloody ways of good wealth. And of course the series of other lecture series of uncommon leaders, success stories, talks by management gurus. So the evening talk, video discussions, the one-day workshops, certificate programs, seminars, conclaves, conventions. These are the bouquet of programs that MMA organizes. Video discussions and the book reading session are one of the most popular programs, and we organize this every month at this very
I'm sure this is going to be a very special one. See, we actually started this concept somewhere in April 2014. So, in all the four people who are in the panel today are normally used to addressing thousands, 500, 600 people in a large big auditorium. How do they address us in a small confine? Should be a challenge for them and also should be a challenge for us. The same question I asked Mr. C.K.KUMARAVEL. This will be a small room. It's unlike the gatherings which you have come or you came, and he said without any hesitation, yes, thank you very much for that actually. There are four ways I thought this combination will work. Now, the actual practicing entrepreneur, when you're talking about products and services, then Mr. Kumaravel. Content-wise, clarity-wise, we have got 2 or 3 people joining in.
With a lot of passion, it takes a lot of pain, in contacting us many times and putting it in social media and making calls. So it's done a great job, in bringing all of us together. So when you talk about secret, generally it's all whispered. It's not said in a loud tone. So that's the beauty of the secret. Bread King Mahadev, who's the founder of hotbreads, he was writing a series of articles in our book, and he very transparently said how his business was established, how he sent his employees abroad for training and all that. It was very well received, in those times. There are a lot of magazines now, a lot of news channels. I don't really, believe that people read all the magazines nowadays. But still, this particular book, Business Secrets, this is a series of articles which was published, in Nanayam Dividan, the group of Anand Dividan, with 272 pages. It has been dedicated to his father. In bracket, he says, for his innovation, and also dedicated to his mother for her values. So, there's a big myth that all intelligent people can become successful people. There's a very popular favorite song of mine also. I hope you also will, like that, with Chandrababu, the actor. So this has been mentioned in this book in the early chapters itself. புத்தி உள்ள மனிதரெல்லாம் வெற்றி காண்பதில்லை வெற்றி பெற்ற மனிதரெல்லாம் புத்திசாலி இல்லை புத்திசாலி இல்லை. Thank you. Okay. So if you are very intelligent, it doesn't mean that you can be very successful in life. And all the successful people, you just can't declare saying that they are not people of wisdom. A lot of examples that has been quoted in this book, and I would say Meera illama Piliga, Kumaravel illada Desa. Naturally, though he is his younger brother, he has got his own brand, he has got his own identity, and that has been created across the globe. And so totally 40 articles are in this book. It was actually printed in an Indian art paper, flawless writing and readable font size, very attractive layout with a lot of photographs. He empathizes with people that can be seen in this book, and he believes in professional approach and sharing power authority along with the responsibility. He wants young people to become entrepreneurs, and he has been incorporating this in different places, including Kadalur. Bringing entrepreneurship as a course curriculum in school education itself, and then teaching values to his employees. And he also gives a very clear stakeholders list. He says, first you have to take care of the customer. to treating with respect to the employees. So employees are your asset. So you see the second stakeholder is the employees, the third one is vendors, the fourth one is bank, the fifth one is government, and the last one is owner. And he also recommends in one of his articles what kind of books that his employees, his leaders, other entrepreneurs should go through. This one is 7 Habits, definitely he says you are brain. The second one is Shiv Keras You Can Win, and then Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and The Secret by Rhonda Ben, and Leadership Engine by Noel Dickey. The very important secret that inspired me about CKR is he leaves his office, before 8 o'clock or and CKR says, I always dine with my family and I go to sleep at 10:30. Whoever rises early, he has more time. That secret also he maintains, and he reads a lot, especially during travel, during waiting time, and he updates himself constantly, and in fact he takes care of his health very much. Earlier he used to go for swimming when he was very young, and nowadays he goes for walk, doesn't sit in his chair. Generally the CEOs will chair the meeting, and he keeps walking the meeting hall itself, so that at least he achieves 10,000 steps. I think we will give a very big hand to CKR's this kind of commitment to health. Because if you are an entrepreneur, first of all you need to follow your own principle. You need to set an example. You need to leave a legacy for which you must live long. And next one is he believes in common sense, which is very uncommon these days. அதுக்கு நிறைய எக்ஸாம்பிள்ஸ்லாம் கொடுக்குறாரு. And the common sense என்ன அப்படின்றதுக்கான நிறைய examples is giving in his book. And then he respects relationship and work-life balance. He is not missing any important event in the family. So these are all the biggest secrets that he has revealed in this book. I'm already a fan of him, and after reading this book, I have become a very ardent fan of CKR, and I value whatever he has written, and I leave the rest to the panel members over here. Shenoy has prepared his own points, and of course KK has got a lot of things to share with you. I'm going to ask a few questions to him. After that, the forum will be open to the audience. So this is the format that we are going to follow. Now I request Mr. KK to continue the book reading and the discussion and about his points. Please give him a very big applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Vijay, for roping all of us and giving us a chance to be a part of, giving me a chance to be a part of this panel. This saying in Sanskrit, it says, Rujasva Bhavo Paro Janeshu Durlabha. Meaning, Rujasva Bhavo, meaning, the simple nature, Janeshu, among men, among people, Durlabha, it is very rare. So, it is very rare to find simple natured people among men, and it is rarer to find simple natured men among businessmen. So what I felt was that while I will touch upon some of these highlights, and I will also share some of the learnings and experiences that I have learned in my experience spread over 3 decades in corporate across various organizations. And this topic is definitely very close to my heart, because as a management consultant, I focus on business strategy and best practices which will really help the organizations to find their own niches. I'm also a certified business coach, and I also concentrate on developing certain skills and behaviors for senior executives aspiring to move to the next level. Mr. CKR talks about this win-win situation as Vijay mentioned. I had a long stint with Murugappa Group, and I was managing one of the businesses there in Murugappa Group. This win-win is something which we used to project in all business activities that we have, to the extent that it used to be a part of some of our corporate presentations also. It's taken from, we have taken a couple of lines from Kautilya's Arthashastra, where it says, no man, no person with whom you deal should ever lose, then you will not lose. So that is what this win-win means to some of us, and I think that is what CKR has tried to emphasize in this book. He differentiates between family business and business family. You know, world over, businesses are owned by families. In fact, 80% of the businesses across the world, they say, are owned by family. These are family businesses. But CKR brings out a very clear distinction between family business and business family. So by family business, he says the emphasis is on the family. So even though you are running a business, you seem to be showing more interest in terms of satisfying the different dynamics and balances within the family. So what might happen is that you will find key positions given to family members regardless of their caliber. And once you give a particular position to somebody, there may be contemporaries and other equivalent people. You may have to give a similar position to another person. So you may find that you have filled the complete organization structure with people who may be very close to you, in terms of relationship, but they may or may not be able to have the necessary skills to do the business.
To join Terence SHENOY, very experienced person. More than 30 or 35 years of experience.
Thank Mr. Vijay Balaji. He got off from. Because this book is written in Tamil and I don't read Tamil. And when he asked me, I said, how am I going to review it? He said, don't worry. You tell me which chapter you want, I'll translate it into English. And he actually went through the trouble of translating 8 chapters which he gave to me. And that is my exposure for the book. Big hand to Mr. Vijay Balaji. He has taken also a lot of effort to coordinate and get this show on. For the last 1 month or more, he has been following follow-up con calls to name it. One of the chapters is talking about mindset. One of the chapters talks about leadership qualities. Somewhere in the second chapter, CKR talks about if you have these qualities, you are not fit for business. Whereas if you have got these qualities, you can go into business. So I looked at one common thread across the whole book, or at least across the 8 chapters. What kind of mindset you need to be successful in business, and what kind of mindset is only good to be an employee and not get into business. So you can call it an employer or entrepreneurial mindset versus an employee mindset. Very first thing is, entrepreneurs take risk. Employees are averse to risk. They're always scared of fear of failure, fear of loss, and he calls that a knowledge deficit. I don't know if anyone understands what is knowledge deficit. Now, my own personal experience has been risk is defined very, very differently for different people. There is no absolute risk. What is risky for one is not risky for another. So risk is very relative. And when he talks about knowledge deficit, I don't know how many of you understand it, but entrepreneurs, employer mindset are not so much affected by others' opinions. They don't feel bad if people don't like their way of doing things. Whereas a typical employee is very much concerned with what other people think, and they feel upset. He said, if this is the kind of attitude you have got, you cannot get into business. Entrepreneurs focus on long-term goals. They always think long-term. Most other people look for short-term. There's a big psychological principle behind that called instant gratification and delayed gratification. So if you're always looking for short-term things, not meant for you. He also said employees like to have a 9 to 6 job, they like to leave by 6 o'clock. If that's your time, then you're not fit for business. You cannot really bifurcate it into timings of it. Most employees, he talks about one chapter is only about myths, but again this myths also comes into mindset. He said, many people think that you need a lot of money to start a business. He said, it's a total myth, you don't need money. Employers, entrepreneurs know idea is more important, money will always come if you've got a good idea. Many people think that I don't have the right knowledge or qualifications to be a businessman. He says knowledge is not at all, certification is not. You need knowledge, you need skills, but definitely you don't need to have big certificates or MBAs or anything. In fact, I think all of us know stories, some of the most successful business didn't study college or dropped out of college, and have probably produced much bigger businesses than anyone who went to college. Many people think only business is for men. He says, no, business is for anyone. Many people think women cannot do business. No, there are a lot of women also who are starting business. It's nothing to do with age. Any age you can start a business. It's not only for young people. I don't know how many of you have heard about KFC. All of you have heard of KFC. Anyone knows how old the person was who started it? 65. Colonel Sanders. So it's got nothing to do with age. You've got people like women, you've got people who started without money. All these are only myths. And then myth is nothing but in your mindset. Entrepreneurs think big. They always have big goals. Employees tend to think much smaller. And again, more short term. Entrepreneurs are proactive, others are reactive. If you want to be successful in business, you have to think win-win and not win-lose. Okay, these are some of the 10 points I'm talking about. So, by the way, what is a mindset? We hear this word quite often. So, all of us have a mindset. All of us have perceptions. Also, perception is the way of looking at things. And why do we look at things differently? Because the way we think is different. 3 people could read the same book, but we will still focus on different aspects of the book. Because different things appeal to us because our perceptions are different. But based on our different perceptions, we have our opinions. And our strong opinions become what is called our beliefs. When you have a lot of strong beliefs, it becomes a mindset. Psychologically, it means mind is set, it cannot change. Not really true because you can change the way you think. Let's go to the first one, risk. It's not that entrepreneurs love risk, but they take calculated risk. Now, what's the difference between foolish risk and calculated risk? Let's take a very simple example.
Asset ಧೈರ್ಯ.
Pardon?
We say it in Tamil, asset ಧೈರ್ಯ.
Okay. I'm sure everyone here drives a car or a bike or something, right? Think back to the day you learned to drive, before you drive. If you had to drive on the main road, was it risky or not? Not only risky for you, risky for others also. Yes or no?
Yes.
But today when you drive, you still drive. Why is it? Still risky or not? Still risky being on the road, but now you're taking a calculated risk because you have got the knowledge and skill of driving. Simple. It's the same thing with business. If you just hesitate to get started, you're never going to learn. Once you start, knowledge comes, skill comes, it becomes calculated risk after that. Swimming. Somebody who doesn't know to swim will jump in at the deep end of the swimming pool, very, very risky. But somebody who knows to swim. Now, how do you get rid of fear of failure?
Action. One step at a time.
Facing a fear. How do you learn to swim? By jumping into the water. If you stand outside, you can never get over the fear. I don't know if you have seen when small children learn to swim. One stage they are taken to the top of the deep pool. They told to jump. If they don't jump, actually somebody pushes them. Okay, the only way to get over fear or analysis is to actually take action. That's all. And most people hesitate to take that action and they say very risky, very risky. Knowledge deficit is nothing more than lack of knowledge, lack of skill. That's all.
Lack of knowledge and
Lack of skill. Driving, simplest example, you have the knowledge and the skill. When it was very fearful earlier, no knowledge, no skills. Long term versus short term. Average person in the population, what do they like to do? They focus on short term or long term? Short term to such an extent that you find an average employee, end of the month, there is more month than money in the bank. Yes or no? They just start swiping the credit card. Why? Because of short-term temptations.
Now everyone has got more money in the bank now.
Now, a research study was done many years ago, 1960, by Stanford University, called the famous marshmallow experiment. I know any of you heard of it? One person has heard of it. Okay. Now, 2 people. Okay. So, this actually brings out this point of long-term versus short-term very clearly. And all entrepreneurs, if you want to be successful in business, you need to have a long-term vision. Don't focus on short-term. Yeah, short term is important, but if you are only thinking short term and not long term, you're not going to go. So in that experiment, marshmallow was basically an American sweet. Some of us may not have known what it is. It's a sweet. And they got this whole lot of small kids, 5-year, 6-year-old kids into the room, and they were given 2 offers. If you want to have a sweet right now, 1 marshmallow, you can take it. But if you can wait for 15 minutes, you will be given 2 marshmallows. And they were left alone to watch it, and of course it was being recorded. Guess what most of the kids do? They could not hesitate, both were salivating. The more they looked at it, the more the mouth was watering. They went into it. Now I forget the exact ratio, but a very small percentage of the children plan, if I wait just 15 minutes, I can get 2 sweets, and I love 2 sweets. And they waited. And that percentage was very, very, very small.
3%.
3%, thank you. Now, since it was an experiment, they kept track of these kids and for the next 20, 25 years. And they found that those kids who were able to wait, who were able to delay gratification compared to those who went for instant gratification, were far more successful in their life and career after. Now, there's a huge difference between the majority of people and entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs think long term. They think big, they have a vision. Unless you can have that kind of a mindset, very difficult to be successful in business. In fact, in the short term, you have to be ready to take a lot of pain so that you get long-term gain. Proactive, reactive comes from which book?
7 Habits of Sales.
7 Habits is the very first habit. And what's the difference really between proactive and reactive?
Proactive is taking ownership and responsibility of your actions.
Absolutely, not only taking ownership, but taking initiative. Okay. Average people, average employee waits for somebody else to tell him what to do.
Preventive maintenance breakdown.
So you cannot afford to wait for somebody else to tell you what to do. If you're an entrepreneur, buck stops with you, there's nobody to pass the buck to. You have to take ownership, you have to take initiative. You have to have the ideas, you have to sell the ideas to others. So unless you are proactive, unless you can take initiative, unless you can anticipate what is going to happen again in long term based on your initiative, not fit for business, better to be an employee. Win-win also comes from 7 habits. Most of us think that if I have to win, somebody else has to lose. And how have we got this mindset really? It's come from our educational system right from school days. Because one person can come first, one person second, somebody has to be last in class. We never thought that we could all be first. And today also, in most organizations also, performance appraisal again, one is up there, one is down, you have something called a bell curve. But today, many forward-looking companies are scrapping the bell curve. There are a couple, I think Accenture is one of the first companies to do it. I think Infosys is also planning to do it because GE has also done it. And a matter of time, that's going to change. And in schooling and college also, they've changed ranks to grades. And they say that's the most damaging thing that can happen as a child. Why do you find most businessmen have come from business families? Why? Because they have already got the mindset from there. Others can also do it, but then you have to make a change in your mindset. Many times we talk about it as a child, as a girl, you can't start a business unless you've got business in your blood. If you want to be successful in business, you need to change your thinking, you need to change your beliefs, you need to change your mindset. And these are some of the 10 things which I could get out from the book. If you can follow this, easy to be successful in business. Thank you.
Madras not only helped, how music also. MR.VIJAY, ready irukkaru. It's not about the book, it's about the way that he wants to address all of you. Because naturally he's a very charismatic person. So let him talk about his own business, whatever he thinks fit for this audience for this particular evening.
Thanks KK and Shenoi and Vijay for inviting us and good evening members. I came to this book reading function for 2 things. One, Vijay was insistent, and most importantly, I believe in anything worth doing is worth doing badly in the beginning. So I don't know I have not attended and shared a book reading function. So I thought this is an opportunity for me to learn, that's why I have come here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Second is, this book happens to be my brother's, so I cannot say no to that also. That's also a great opportunity for me. So it's been wonderful. I think you have got a glimpse of what this book is about. It is pity that book is in Tamil. I wish somebody else takes the responsibility of translating in especially English and in other languages, because it can reach a large number of people. Entrepreneurship is the ability to think differently. When everybody looks at the job, entrepreneurs looks at creating jobs. When everybody looks at security, entrepreneurs looks about taking a risk. Entrepreneurship is a mindset. It's an ability to do. When everybody looks at a problem, entrepreneurship looks at the same problem and looks at it as an opportunity. It is whether your glass is half full or half empty. Both are truth. 3 or 4 of the entrepreneurs are very close to my heart. Is obviously the first one is my father. My father is from a small town called Kadalur near Pondicherry. One of the business he used to do was to buy the pharma products in bulk and pack it in small packets and give it to the medical shop. This was his primary business. A maths teacher by qualification, but he's an ardent reader. He used to read a lot of Reader's Digest and Chemical Weekly and try to get a lot of knowledge. And not only reading knowledge for the knowledge sake, he will implement that knowledge by introducing various products. Unfortunately, during his lifetime, he has not seen any big success. But he used to keep on trying and trying. One of the big things what we have learned from our father is keep on trying, never give up. He used to keep on trying and trying and trying. That's very important for us. One day he was going to an exhibition because he is very curious mind. Okay, and he went for an exhibition to Singapore and he was carrying his Ecolux suitcase. In that suitcase he had a Tata bottle shampoo. And fortunately that bottle shampoo broke and his entire dress was soiled. Instead of blaming the Tata bottle maker or the suitcase maker or the airline, he said, lot of travelers who are traveling will have a problem. So how can I solve that? And that was the birth of the velvet shampoo. When everybody looked at it as a problem, he looked at it as an opportunity.
Actually, those are well wet.
Yeah. So he used to look at it as an opportunity. That is what the mindset all about. And the second one of my favorite entrepreneur is this Richard Branson. Richard Branson one day was holidaying from New York City to Hawaii, and on his way back his flight got cancelled and there were 149 people and everybody was screaming and shouting. They said, hey, this airline is like that, I have an important work in New York, my child has got to school, there is a medical emergency, blah blah blah. Everybody was screaming and nobody was doing anything. And Richard Branson took the phone, hired a private airline, split the cost to the 149 people and got his ticket free. On the way back to New York City, he conceived the idea of Virgin Airline. When everybody looked at it as a problem, Richard Branson looked at it as an opportunity. And that's the mindset. The third and one of my most favorite Indian role model is Dhirubhai Ambani. This Dhirubhai Ambani was a 9th standard dropout, Gujarati guy, who went to Aden in the Middle East as a petrol pump boy. And he was putting petrol in one track and another track, another car came and every other attendant rushed to that track. And Dhirubhai was, after that he asked, who is he? Why did you all rush to him? What is so big about him? They said he's an oil well owner. When you go over there and salute him, he will give a lot of tips. And Dhirubhai told, I am going to become an oil well owner one day. And everybody laughed. And Dhirubhai had the last laugh. You know why? In the morning he was a petrol pump boy. In the night he used to work in an auditor's office and he used to write accounts. And end of the first month, the auditor's assistant gave him a check salary. And this young boy told, no, I don't want salary. Maybe the assistant thought he wants more salary, that is why he is not taking the check. He told the senior, you speak to him. The senior called him and asked, why are you not taking the salary? Dhirubhai told, I have come here to learn. I have not come here to earn. That is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the ability to learn continuously. And that's exactly what I have seen in my brother. There is nothing in a caterpillar which even suggests scientifically that it is going to become a butterfly one day. Let all caterpillars become butterfly.
Wow.
When he was with us, and so many friends and so many relatives, we are in that Kadalur, we never thought he is going to become a businessman. It is not the world thinks about you is important, it is what you think about you which is more important. The quality of the painting is the responsibility of the painter. The quality of the sculpture is the responsibility of the sculptor. The quality of your life is your responsibility. Entrepreneurship is your ability to think on your own, express yourself, go to the world and paint your own picture. And the second one, which is most important in him, is a genius. There is a formula for genius. Anyone who uses that formula is going to be a genius. The formula equal to focus, plus daily improvement, plus time equal to genius. Focus means you do yes to the one thing and no to the 99 thing. Okay, that's the first thing. Second is daily improvement. Focus plus daily improvement plus time equal to genius. And that's the exact formula what he has made and what he has used. That is a formula. Whoever is using the formula will work. It will not leave anyone. I have been very fortunate to have seen all these books, what is written. I have been a very closest witness to it because I am the nearest younger brother. So I have witnessed the closest of all these things to him. One last point I want to leave with this. In this room, there used to be a poster. That poster says, a ship in a harbor is safe, but that is not why the ship is built for. And that, if you keep on seeing, it activates your subconscious mind. Thank you so much for all of you for coming here.
Your brother has written a book called Business Secrets. So, our secret is that we are down. Even employees say,
If you go through that book, you will understand it is very common sense. There is no secret in that book. It's a very simple, well-written, common sense approach to life and to do business. I think that is the secret of business. Success is like knowing the combination to your number lock. If you put the number right, the lock will open. The lock won't mind whether you are a male or a female, black or a white, rich or poor, educated or uneducated. What are the numbers for that business or that activity what you are doing? Say suppose you are a student, you are going to the college and you are not getting good marks. The number is you have to go and take a tuition, work longer hours, study hard, okay, on that subject, and then you go, the number will automatically come into the picture.
See, to most of the outsiders like us, both green trends and naturals, they seem to be in the same domain. At least, for many of us who may not know the intricacies of how these businesses are positioned. So, how are both these businesses positioned, and how do you manage not to have any clash of interest within your family?
First is the best thing which is, we love competition. And the best thing which has happened to Coca-Cola is Pepsi-Cola. Minus the Pepsi-Cola, the cola market would not have opened this much. Likewise, the best thing which has happened to naturals is green teas. Minus the green teas, the market would not have opened to this extent. And we always believe that it is always better to have, if the business size is big, there has to be 2 brands, and the 2 brands should be within the family. And if we have it within the family, we can always control the market and we can take advantage of it.
Natural green
Yeah, that's the simpler way of saying. I love this competition. Is another point I want to leave with you when it comes to competition is that the Japanese has got a large, they love this freshwater fish and caught that fish and brought it to the shore. And the Japanese people are very intelligent people. They identified it is no more fresh fish. And they are not, the market was not happening. Then somebody came out with an idea, let us put one, refrigerator. And they put a refrigerator and they took inside in that boat, put that fish in that refrigerator and they brought it back and they again found it is not a fresh fish. The Japanese people are very sharp. And next time what happened, they put one fish tank. And that fish tank, they put the fish tank and they caught the fish, put it in the tank and brought it, but the fish was not moving, again it was not working. The last what they did was they were actually struggling. They put one little shark in that, and the shark started biting few of the big fishes. Some fishes died, but most of them were moving. It became fresh fish. The market again revived. Competition is like sharks. It are so important. Competition brings the best in the product and worst in the people. But in my case, between my brother, we have a what you call a very healthy respect for each other, so we don't have any problem. And we have grown together, and I've been very fortunate in that to have a brother like him.
Okay. Natural is I think the biggest brand, at least in South India. And I think now you're also abroad, Dubai, Singapore. How many outlets do you have currently, and what is your plan for 2020?
Yeah, we have 570 stores at this point of time. My short-term goal, which is 2018, is to create 1,000 successful women entrepreneurs, 3,000 salons and 50,000 jobs. I don't have a money target. I don't have a profit target. Money is a byproduct of providing a good service or a good product. It is not the main product by itself, excepting for Reserve Bank of India.
Wow.
So I don't have a target in that, but it is a shame that India with 130 crore people are not able to claim leadership even in one business or one activity. It's a shame. And I want to change that. By 2025, Naturals will be the #1 salon chain in the world.
How people are trained when you have more branches or franchise agencies to standardize?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges for any chain outlet or chain establishment is to provide uniform, poor quality. That is the biggest challenge for any chain establishment. And that's one of the challenges we are facing at this point of time. Though we have a lot of stuff, we have grown little fast, little too soon. We have now set up a large facility of an academy, 20,000 square feet plus near Marg Swarnabhumi in the ECR, and that's the first step what we have done, where we are training our people, where we are training our people. That's one thing we have done. But having said that, we call our staff as not service providers, we call them as smile providers, because their job is to put smile in the customer's face. So that's something what we have done, and we have told our formula is, our job is to take care of the franchise holders' interest, and franchise holders' job is to take care of the smile providers' interest, and smile providers' job is to take care of the ultimate customer's interest. As long as the smiles chain continues, 3,000 and 10,000 and more is just a mile marker on this journey.
So, considering that we have also scaled up across the country, I'm sure the task of educating the people and different geographies of the country would have been equally difficult. So, how did you manage to scale up across the country, and what were the challenges you faced in scaling up?
And it's a challenging opportunity for Indians to go ahead. What we did was we took the Burger King approach, which is that you go to one market, dominate that market, after that go to the next market. So that is how we have gone from 5-6 states we have gone at this point of time. Other states we have put that seed now, and then we will go and circle that one.
The challenges were different in different states.
Yes.
Perhaps one common thing is hair grows everywhere.
I always used to say, as long as your hair grows, our business grows.
Final question. All business has ups and downs. Could you share any incident where you had some major setback and how you overcame it? Learning from it.
No, setbacks are part of the life. If you are, it is like salt in the food. And if you don't have salt, this food won't be tasty. And a lot of times we all feel that we don't want problem, we don't want problemless life is an illusion. It doesn't exist. So a problem is we need to take it in this stride and look at it as a learning opportunity and keep moving. So in mind, this thing is every point of time is a problem. Right? As I speak in front of you, we have a problem. So only thing a lot of people don't speak about problem. I love problems. I believe that failure is like fertilizer. And minus that fertilizer, the plant cannot grow really well. And if you can really want to make it, there is no big success without a big failure. So So all failures are very important and we need to speak about that. One of my biggest failure was when I did a product called Raga before this venture, where I made that product and I wanted to scale up faster and I put the business and the product, I introduced 3-4 products, series of products, and the product failed. I was not knowing how to handle it. And I was like suddenly like Abhimanyu surrounded by problems from all sides. I had a demotivated staff, I had a bank has frozen my account, and then the creditors have become very aggressive. The competition has become very stiff. And my own well-wisher started telling, hey, you have failed. I told them, no, I have not failed, my efforts have failed. They are two different things. And how did I get that? It is again the point what I was talking about. It is about the mindset. If you get the mindset and start looking at the glass as half full or half empty, and there lies the opportunity.
Perception.
I kept on telling, no, I have not failed, my efforts have failed. And there is a beautiful story which I love the most, which was 2 frogs jumped into a milk pot. What does a frog know? They know how to jump, and these 2 frogs continued to jump. After some time, one frog realized, I cannot jump any further. And it drowned inside and it sank and it died. Another frog continued to jump. After some time, the milk became butter. And the frog jumped into the butter and it came out. I said, I am going to be that frog which is going to jump out and it came. That's when we started this natural business. And then we did it.
So please give a very big hand to him.
Tough times never last, but tough people do. Okay. But the greatest challenge is how do you remain tough? Okay, when you have a tough time. Okay, I just want you to give me 3 ways of creating a very tough mindset, especially for entrepreneurs.
We are an average of 5 people with whom we associate on a daily basis. You identify that 5 people, mark, divide by 5, and that is you. And if your average has to change, these 5 people have to change. How can that 5 people change? You coming here is one such thing. How you deploy your time, reading a good book, The Business Secrets, listening to a good audio thing, attending a good forum. Like that, your average will slowly but steadily will change. It is developing that mindset is so important. Again and again, I can go over and tell them how can you overcome problem. It is a mindset. If your mind is weak, the situation will look like a problem. If your mind is normal, the same situation will look like a challenge. If your mind is strong, the same situation will look like an opportunity. Train your mind and win the world.
How you have segmented your business? Whether your business is targeted at the premium clientele or the mid-segment clientele or the economic, because this is one of the issues what I face with my clients.
No, I think India is a large middle class, upper middle class opportunity. That is the biggest pie. And what we have done, we have not done anything fancy. It is a large unorganized market. We have organized that market. That's what we have done. Everybody were going to the salon and cutting the hair. And we are also cutting the hair. Nothing new about it. Only thing we have now put one uniform and then using right products and given an air conditioning and given a price list. This is the first phase of what you call condition, the product. We have segmented the product. In the beginning, we have not done any segmenting. We identified which is the largest chunk, which is that higher middle class of India is the hungry people who have suddenly got money. 2000 plus India is a very different opportunity. The middle class people and the higher middle class people suddenly have started making more money. So we thought that is the biggest opportunity. So we introduced naturals there. And when we felt that the opportunity is bigger, we introduced a brand called Range 3, which is the luxury brand. And with that, we reach into the higher end market. And then we have launched a lower end product called Star Cuts. So we have identified 3 distinctly different opportunity in that. And we are doing that. And we also identified, segmented it as Naturals W, which is an all-women salon. And because Indian women are still not comfortable in a unisex environment. So we want to give them that privacy, and that is where we have created that product.
Can you share one belief of yours which has been the most useful?
One belief is, I always told myself that my picture is going to be there in the business India cover. I told myself. And one of the biggest learning for me happened in my college. And I always, we belong to a group of students who will go to the college daily and not go to the class. And it was one such day we were idling in the canteen. A friend of mine told that there is a guy called MR.CK.RANGANATHAN who was come and speaking in the auditorium. We walked into the auditorium and I realized it happened to be a Gandhi Jayanti day. And I had a very poor opinion of that guy Gandhi. Gandhi was the reason for India-Pakistan partition. Had India and Pakistan were to be together, the Sachin Tendulkar and Wasim Akram will play cricket together. And because of that, the partition happened. Obviously, we walked in and we spoke about Gandhi only. He said, how do we Indians celebrate the Gandhi Jayanti day? We put the Indian national flag on our chest, hoist the Indian national flag, distribute sweets and chocolates, say, Mere Bharat Mahan Jai Hind. After that, we all go home and watch TV. That is the Indian way of celebrating Gandhi Jayanti day. We think he is a Mahatma and we are an ordinary Atma. There is no connection between us, excepting in 2000 rupees and 100 rupees notes. There is a Gandhi portrait in American Parliament, American Congress, Washington DC. Below the portrait, it is not written M.K. Gandhi, 1869 to 1948. It is not written Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation India. It is written, a single man can make a difference. I have decided I am going to be that single man who will make a difference. I want each and every one of you, I am not asking you to read that Gandhi's wonderful autobiography, My Experiment with Truth. If you have time, don't miss that book. I am not even asking you to put Gandhi picture. I am asking you to put your picture. Below that write, a single man can make a difference. A single woman can make a difference. And watch that picture daily. Soon your life will become legendary.
One final question now.
I'm an aspiring entrepreneur and dreamer. And my question is, how do you prototype your ideas?
How do you
Prototype your ideas.
find out what problem are you solving and for whom are you solving that problem? That is the first question to ask. Don't look at how much money to make protecting your idea. That is not important. Look at what problem are you solving. Entrepreneur's job is to solve problems. In the process, make money. Whereas if it is a technology product, you have to go ask, when you have a heart problem, what you should do. Go ask, consult a cardiologist, don't consult a dentist. I am a dentist. Okay, when it comes to prototyping and getting patents. Go to IIT MADRAS. Ask that person, they will be able to give you the solution. Your dream is your signature. Make sure the entire world knows it. Thank you. We have taken a parental approach towards franchising. So closing the salon is the easiest. And one of the good thing about usually for a retail industry, if something is not working, you have to close it. That is the rule of retail industry. Whereas for salon business, it is not like that. Because salon business, if you just like doctor, you just open the clinic and you sit there. After first 3 months, nobody will come. 6 months later, few people will come. 1 year later, people will be waiting. So you need to do some time, give time some time and keep on waiting. Make sure, do some promotions, trial marketing. I used to stand in front of pantaloons and distribute gift vouchers. My own people will look at me and disown me. And this business is like that. You can just being there and telling the people you are there, making people to come and try your product, your business will be bound to be successful. Thank you. Your personal plus point and business plus point, if they are meeting on a line, same line, miracles will happen. I am good in networking and friendship making, and my business plus point is networking and franchising. Since both met on the same line, we could create a big business and what you call the salon chain like this. So I think it's very important you understand what is your strength and what is the business need, and we should connect it. And if you connect it, you will see miracle happen.
Great. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. I am Umachandran. I am also from Kadalur. Me and Kumaravevel are together from 6th channel. We got produced ourselves by playing tennis ball, cricket, and still our friendship continues. And now he take care of all of his friends by guiding them. Even this meeting he called me. This motivates me, and I am seeing a different Kumaravel. Thank you very much.
You also work with the CK and you should speak about.
He is of two different personality. He is a best humanitarian. He cares for his employees. He cares for his employees a lot. Personally, he steps out. Thank you, sir.
இவரோட சன் ஆர்கிடெக்டா இருக்கு, அவர் ஆர்கிடெக்டா இருக்கு. நல்லா கவனிச்சிங்கன்னா சில சமயத்தில் சிஇஓஸ்க்கு கொஞ்சம் அந்நியன் மாதிரி தான் இருக்கணும். கொஞ்சம் அந்நியப்பட்டு இருந்து பார்த்தா தான், தூரம் இருந்து விலகி பார்த்தா தான் அந்த பிரச்சனை வந்து புரியும். ஸோ அந்நியனாக இருக்கிறதுல வந்து தப்பு இல்லை. சில சமயம் நெருக்கமாக இருப்பாங்க, சில சமயம் அந்நியமாக இருப்பாங்க. ரொம்ப இன்னைக்கு அந்நியனாக இல்லாமல் ரொம்ப நெருக்கமாக இருந்தது நம்ம குமாரவேல் சார். ஸோ வி ரியலி தேங்க் ஹிம். There'll be a formal closure of this meeting by Professor Vijay Bala, who has done a great job to put all of us together. Hope all of you enjoyed. So I leave the floor to Professor Vijay Balaji. On behalf of the panel, on behalf of the panel, I thank Mr. Kumaravel wholeheartedly for his wonderful presence, gracious presence, and wonderful answers.
Thank you. I think it has been a great evening according to me. And I can see from your faces, I think on behalf of you, I think I can tell that and announce it to the panel also. Can I do that?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. There's a change which happens, that chemistry in your mind also happens. So that is one thing which I thought is why this format is good actually. So I really thank you for being very, very sportive, immediately accepting to this and also enthralling us in your wisdom actually, number one. Number two is, as I told you, this is a CSR activity. And now Mr. Terence and Mr. Bala, if you know, they had actually missed a workshop and they postponed it or preponed. They changed the schedule just because they had committed that they will be present here on 30th. Please give them a big hand for that. And that preparation and the way they read the book for us, amazing. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So,
A friend of mine, she's a new friend, she's a 15-year-old girl, and she has written a book called Unschooled Years. She took a break for a year after her 10th and written a book called Unschooled Years. It's a wonderful book. I think this is going to change the way in which the children are going to look at school. I wish and I want MMA to have a look at that book and launch it on our behalf. It's a super book by a 15-year-old kid. And that's one thing I want to appreciate.
it will be done. It's called that.
The Unschooled Year.
That girl's name.
Sagarika is her name. She's from Trichy.
Available in bookstore?
Yeah, she's from Trichy. She's available in Amazon or Flipkart. So I think it's available there. One picture equal to 1,000 words. Please capture your life. Don't miss it. Every day take at least minimum 10 pictures, 20 pictures, 30 pictures. Whenever you meet a new person or go to a new place, read a new book or something interesting captures your attention, please capture that. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
There. Done.
Can I please ask the Ram Subramanian, very senior NLP trainer. Thank you, Ram. And Mr. Paul will do the honor to Mr. K.K. Please. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.